Should the salary expectation for the role be stated on the adverts or it shouldn't be stated? What is your point of view?
The salary being stated there helps for transparency.
Me, I have my own point of view and shall share it. What do you think? Hi everyone, welcome to Workplace Reality Podcast by Kenneth Consulting International. We've been talking on a very wonderful series about employees' words, and I think we've dropped about 2 different episodes. Hope you've been streaming on every episode. If you want to know what you think, comment. If you have any topic that you want us to discuss, as long as it's related to the workspace, please drop it in the comment section and we will see to it. Please subscribe to our channel. And today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic, looking from the perspective of the job seekers on should a job seeker apply for job where the salary is not stated. Now, the part of the recruiter, should a recruiter post or add the salary expectation of the role in the job advertisement? I'm not here to talk about it alone. I have my amazing colleague, Ms.
Thank you. I am Peace Francis.
Yeah, this is the first time Peace is joining us in the Workplace podcast, and this is the very first time, and Peace, we're glad to have you on board. The topic we're talking about is really a very important topic where a lot of job seekers, personally, when a recruiter gets job seeker calling, you post job ad there, and a lot of job seekers are calling in to ask you what is the salary expectation. Some will even send a mail requesting for their salary expectation before they apply, or some will contact the helpline to know the salary expectation before they apply. Even within the workspace, a job ad by a company, and the first thing some recruiter asks is what is the expectation of the salary? Is it right? Should the salary expectation for the role be stated on the adverts so that job seeker will see it and apply, or it shouldn't be stated? What is your point of view? Because me, I have my own point of view, which I'll share later. What do you think?
Okay, on that note, I think it all depends. The reason I said it all depends is because the salary being stated there helps for transparency.
Okay.
And when I say it helps for transparency, it's because some of these job seekers, they have organization they are working previously, and it also helps them to know if they are top talents for this role. For instance, in different industries, they have top talents they are looking out for. Being that the basic needs of life is very important for some persons, although the experience is a top of everything. But some persons, being that they are working in this organization and they are seeing a salary that is very interesting, and they're like, okay, this salary can help me to meet some of my basic needs, at least to some extent. So you see some of these candidates or job seekers, they may not be outrightly wrong for seeking the salary expectation. They want to know the transparent aspect, if it's what they feel they can go for. Although some of the employment or jobs, there are some beautiful things hidden under it that you may not get to know until you have to walk into it. So that is why opportunities in life, you don't just need to just knock at the door.
So what is your point of view? Because you're talking about the pros and you're talking about the advantage and you're talking about the advantage. For you,
for me,
let's say you're a job seeker.
Okay.
Which do you prefer? Like, do you want to see the salary before you apply for the job, or you don't mind whether the salary is there or the salary?
For me as a person, I would want to see the salary.
Wow.
Yes, because just like I said, every human has basic needs and things to solve. Right? But then behind the salary as a person, I would go for an opportunity that I know that will help me grow.
Okay. My opinion, Peace has said her own that
yes.
She will want to know the salary expectation before she even applies for the job.
Yes.
But from my point of view, I would say no. The truth is, if I know my worth, see, companies are looking for value. Sometimes you might have a salary expectation and you're not even worth it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So I think instead of you to focus on seeing salary, you should focus on building value in that field. That's what I think.
Okay.
Because some top companies, especially IOCs, which is the international air companies, if you see their opening, top companies, you don't see salary expectation. And if you're looking at for salary expectation, you will miss great opportunities. So for me, if I'm applying for a job, let's say I'm a job seeker and I'm looking for a job in my field as a business development manager, for the fact that I know what I'm looking for the fact that I know my value, if I see a job opening and I see that they are looking for a business development manager, I don't care whether the salary is there. It takes nothing to apply for a job. It costs you nothing. If you say it costs time to apply for a job, you already have your CV journal, right?
Yeah.
You already have your cover letter if it's requested.
Sure.
At night, you can apply for a job. It doesn't take, in less than 2 minutes, you can apply for a job.
Sure.
So it takes nothing. So even if you apply for the job and it gets to negotiation part and the salary doesn't go down well with you, you walk out. Do you understand? You walk out. You might not see salary there, you might lose the opportunity. What if, and especially a lot of IOCs are there, apart from their graduate training rules, for professionals, they don't put salary. Many a time, this IOC uses outsourcing to recruit, and they don't state the salary. For the viewers, IOCs are international oil companies like the AG, Chevron, Shell, ExxonMobil. These are types of IOCs in Nigeria. I think there are about 5 or 6 currently in Nigeria. For IOCs that are looking for top professionals, a lot of them, first, you won't even see in their adverts that they are IOCs. The only way where IOCs will state like it's for graduate trainee or entry level, you see NNPC is recruiting for entry level. Let's talk about the pros and cons of applying the salary attachment. Since I'm standing on that view, let me talk about it. Let's be realistic. This is a workplace reality podcast. Everybody wants to work in an IOC. I'm on the contrary opinion, saying that I don't care whether the salary is there. If I'm in need of a job and I see a job that suits my career path, I'll apply for it. And going to the negotiation aspect is either a yes or a no. And it takes nothing to do that. It gives you opportunity to negotiate.
Well, I get what you're trying to say, right? But then as these job seekers, most of the times, as an individual, yes, I might want to say I need to know the salary.
Yeah.
But then some of these job seekers, like I said, some of them have the skills, some of them have the experience, and nobody wants to be underpaid.
I remember some years back when I was working in a recruitment company in Port Harcourt, and there was a job we posted. A client reached out to us for a role, and the salary attached to that role was 80,000 or 70,000. And there was a young man that applied for that role. The man has an MB. I was the one in charge of that interview at that time. You know what the man did? When I met the man, I was like, why are you applying for the role? You're seeing the salary. The man was like, I've not been working, I desperately need a job. And I said, okay, the company is a prospective one. And the man told me that, gift, I already know. We actually sent his resume, fixed a date with him and the employer. Guess what? They employed that man for 250,000. For a job that was posted for 80,000. They saw him and they saw that his value spoke for him. As we speak, he's still in that company. This is one of the pros of applying for a job. Companies will always pay you what you're worth. Whether the salary is stated there or not. Even if you're a business developer and you know that your salary worth is $500,000, and you see a business development job, the salary is stated 150,000, and you really need a job and you apply for it. The fact that you are good, that you are a prospect for that job, will take you to the negotiation point. Am I lying?
That's true.
When you get to the negotiation point, you cannot state your worth. And if you're able to convince the employer with your value, that's your worth, you will be paid. The employer will surpass whatever was posted. That's what a lot of job seekers don't know. It gives you opportunity to negotiate. You're beyond limits. You state what you want, the salary that you want, stating your value, what you bring to the table as a reason why you should be employed. But the truth is that every company is looking for value. We're doing a lot of training currently in Kenneth. We're doing ICT, that's the web development. If you want to go into tech, you want to do a certification for HR and customer service, Kenneth is the place where we prepare you to upscale you so that you can smash any interview in one. So that is one of the advantage. Like I said, I've discussed my 3 points. One, negotiation. And the company, secondly, is that the company might be open to pay you your worth. If you put in what you're bringing to the table, your value, and you state your price, backing it. Some companies, they will pay you your worth and will even place you on target and say, okay, if you can achieve this thing, you'll say, we would hire you. This is not initial salary for this role, but since you're telling us that this is what you will do, we will hire you and put you on probation on 6 months. A lot of companies will hire you and give you time to exploit that value that you said you will bring. So whether probation or not, you've gotten into the company. When you get into the company, you find a way to meet your target or to upscale. So I think that's my reason. So what's yours?
Because of applying without salary stated in the job advertisement, sometimes it deters these candidates to negotiate what they, just like you said, negotiation is one of the advantage. But then it deters them to negotiate the exact salary expectation they need, because like you said, they were already telling you, already saw the salary. For instance, I know of someone, he was sent out for an interview. You see, where he was working, he was earning close to $500,000. Okay. And now where he was sent to, I think the salary they offered him, although there was no salary specification in that job advertisement, but then the salary they offered him was just more like, are you trying to bring me?
This is where, sorry to cut you off, but this is where, if you see a job that the salary is not stated, the first thing you should do as a job seeker, talking to our viewers, research about the company. Okay. When you research about a company, you would know to an extent, you can ascertain the level of growth of that company. Let me take an example. In a sales and business development, we deal with clients, whether we are on site or off site. If I go to a company website, I can weigh that company through information on their website.
Okay.
That's one. Two, I don't want to go into tech to talk about how to weigh a website. Maybe you should apply one of our courses or our sales and business development courses to be able to know these tricks. Now, research about the company. Don't just go on Google and say, let's say the company A, and type what is company A. You just go and look up, know their location. Because a lot of people don't do research. Okay. You can even do research to who the MD is. You can see everything online. It's not hidden. You can do research to know when the company existed. For if a company has been existing for 5-10 years, you can guess if they can be able to pay you a certain amount. You will know, okay, this company is not upcoming. If you go to a company website, you can know if the company is doing well or not. There are a lot of tricks to this thing. I will advise, we that we don't like seeing salary before we apply. If I don't see salary, it will not make me not to apply for the job if I'm job hunting.
Okay. Well, I think this the pros aspect is more like for people that are seriously in need of jobs. For instance, for people that are out of jobs, because for some of the persons that are already working, what would you say? Because I'm trying to look at that aspect.
For someone that is already
working and they are already being paid something that is reasonable, but they are trying to either
look for greater opportunities.
But then these ICOs company are not putting their salaries there, but then they know that, let's say this company is paying me 400,000 or
Yes.
500,000, but then I want to apply to Dangote, for instance. I know that Dangote, although we pay, but the salary is not stated there. And most times, these people, even if they go for interview, you are offering them even 800,000. This is okay. Let's say you're offering them 450.
Yeah.
They are telling you, no, I can't take this offer where I've been working or I am working. I'm being paid 500,000, and most times you're saying, okay, can I make it 600,000? And you see most of them doing, will I say this normal Nigerian language, shakara? Because to them, there are other companies out there. That is the aspect of people that are already working.
Okay.
I think it's more like for people that are out of jobs.
Okay.
They are the people that, okay, when I see something, I have to give my value. Because sorry to say, for most of the persons working, they feel I have everything it takes. So if this company do not call me, another company will call me. And that is why we lose most top talent individuals for these companies. Because that's where I'm coming to look at the aspects. When the salary is stated, most times, even if the salary is 600 and where they are being paid or they are working is 500, it's just a difference of 100,000. And they will decide, it will make them to say, okay, I think for some persons, but one thing they don't understand most of the time, the work environment may be toxic.
Okay, let me answer your question.
I really want to.
Earlier today, I made a post on dream jobs.
Yes.
I woke up this morning and I decided to write a very short article on dream jobs. And there was something, while I was researching on dream jobs, there was something that, struck me. Now, what is your dream job? What is Mr. A dream job?
Okay.
It's not dream job for Mr. B.
Okay.
And dream job might not be the job. Dream job might be the company.
Okay.
Let me rephrase this.
Wow.
Dream jobs might not be. Some people might say, I don't care what I'm working as in Shell. Let me just enter Shell.
Okay.
So, and even if it's a cleaner job that they get to do, you will see somebody that is working as a sales manager in a regular Nigerian company get an opportunity to work as an office assistant in Shell. The person will resign as the manager of a regular Nigerian company for an office assistant in an IOC. To him, he has gotten his dream job. Now, what I'm saying is that dream job varies.
Okay.
I have someone who is very close to me. He's a professional in quality control when it has to do with foods. Quality control. She's a professional.
Yeah.
And she's been working for a Nigerian production company. I don't want to call the company name, a very renowned company, for about 12 years.
Wow.
And earlier this year, she sent me a message and I was like, Gift, there's this company. She's currently earning up to almost 500,000 in that company. And she sent me a CV early this year and told me that, Gift, if I can get into this company, even if they pay me 200,000, I will take.
Wow.
She has been applying on her own to that company for more than 2 years. And she told me, if this company, the company is in Port Harcourt, I've not even heard about the company before. She was the one, I think about January, gave me the company's name, gave me her CV, and told me I want a job in this company. Even if they pay me 200,000, I will resign and relocate to Port Harcourt for this company. Now, to her, the dream job is not the role.
Okay.
It is the company. Now, if you see your dream job recruiting, even if not cleaner, you will apply. And even if the salary is not stated, I'm talking about professionals now.
Okay.
In the professional field, like you're a professional, you know your worth. Let's say I'm earning 500,000 here, but I want something higher. And I want something higher. And I'm seeing any advert I see, I'm looking out for the salary. My dear, you might not get a higher pay. Like, I will still go back to say, if you want to rely on salary, you might miss your dream job. That's one, even as a professional. The salary is very important though, but just satisfaction
Okay.
also has to do with dream job.
What would you advise a Nigerian job seeker? Let's be realistic.
Yes.
We're talking about workplace reality.
Yes.
No Nigerian wants to understand or listen to the salary. We are looking at just Nigerians. Let's be realistic. Nobody wants to get to a job without seeing the salary.
It's not true.
Although for some persons, job is all about passion and what they are looking out for. So what would you tell a young Nigerian
Graduate
or a graduate?
I want to call company names now. Have you seen NNPC recruiting?
Yes, of course.
Did they put salary?
No.
Have you seen GT Bank recruiting? Do they add salary?
No, they don't.
Have you seen any bank recruiting that they add the salary?
Although a few.
No, that one is contract staff.
Okay.
I mean direct entry level.
No.
Have you seen?
No.
Have you seen any oil company, whether ROCs or not, recruiting for young graduates, which is entry level, graduate training,
Yes.
that you see salary?
Yeah. For instance, Saplet, Ezomobi.
The people that state salary, let's say Kenneth Consult is a manpower supply management company.
Okay.
We consult, we do recruitment or sourcing on behalf of other company, right?
Okay.
If we get a contract from, let's say Ezomobi will tell you, Kenneth, recruit for me for this specific role, and this is the salary expectation based on the terms and conditions.
Okay.
And when we are sourcing for this candidate, we will state the salary on behalf of ExxonMobil.
Okay.
But if it's ExxonMobil that is recruiting directly, they will not put salary.
Okay.
Now, the truth is that these 5 companies or these industries, I talked about the banking industry. If you've seen any bank state salary, you've gone to a bank that they've gone to their sites recruiting and saw salary.
No.
If you've seen NNPC, that if NNPC said today we are recruiting, the last one, their website crashed because people were applying. There was no salary. Now, the truth is that the high-paying jobs don't even put salary. If you are having a contract opinion, like peace, just ask yourself, have you seen any banking entry-level training that is stated salary? NNPC, have you seen? Somebody sent me a DM yesterday and said, "Ma, I need a job in Chevron." And I said, "Send your CV." When I saw the CV, I just smiled. Have you seen Chevron recruiting and added salary, especially on the entry level? I've stated my points, or with this full part of mine, I've been able to convince you that whether you see salary stated in a job advert or not, if you know that you have the capacity to deliver on the job. Let me use an example. If you want to apply for, let's say, GT Bank, if you go to their site for application, the question they will ask you is, are you done with NY? They will assess you to know if you are qualified. They're not stating salary. If you're done with NYC, your age.
Yeah.
Then when you pass all those assessments, they will not test you through tests, your IQ. Are you seeing all those? Are you seeing salary through all this process?
No.
But if I tell you the entry level for one of the Nigerian banks is almost $500,000 as we talk now, as we speak now, for a 26 years old. But you that you say you're a professional, you have 10 years experience, you are looking up to this same salary. You're waiting for them to put 500,000 before you are. So the truth is, I think is the more exposed you are and the more valuable you are,
maybe the skills,
the skill that you have, you will not look all that. They're not necessary. But if you want to convince yourself so much before you apply, go and read about the company.
Finally, like I said, I think you touched a part of the question I asked, but I said, just like we know, this is a workplace reality.
Yes.
This is Nigerian, and the economy of the country is really biting hard. What would you advise a young fresh graduate?
Okay, I will advise a young fresh graduate not to look at the salary before you get a job.
Okay.
The reason is that build value. Every company is looking for value. What if you are looking for big salary and not worth it? Okay. You don't have the skills, you don't have the value. And the truth is that the most process that gives you, even if you learn a skill, let's say an HR, you go and do certification, the highest certification in HR, you have that certificate and you don't have experience, it doesn't match. But if you have experience and you have certificates, is a bad, you have higher rates. You feel you have learned it, you have the certificate and you don't have experience, you cannot still attract that salary that you have. Experience will always be the best teacher. But I will advise, at least the first, second year, build skills. Don't look at the salary. Okay. Now let me conclude with this story. Many years ago, when I started in one of the recruitment firm I work, there is a girl, her name is, according to her name, her name is Dorcas. I know she will watch this episode. And Dorcas, if you watch it, please comment and confirm my story. Now Dorcas studied business management. And she got a job in a cosmetic shop as a sales rep because of the no job. And she just got a job in a cosmetic shop. Her salary was 30,000. That's where I met her. I was consulting there. My firm, the firm I was working with, was consulting for that company. You know, she started working as a sales rep. She met me and she told me about her passion to be a chartered accountant. Note, she never studied accounting. So I told her, because I've passed through that process, I told her, if you studied accounting, there are advantages to be chartered. But if you don't, you have to start from the beginning, and it's financially demanding and timing and all that. But she said she wants to be chartered. Wow. She resigned from that job because the job was not helping her. Through my firm, we gave her another job, which was letting her to go for her account classes. Wow. As we speak, Dorcas is writing her professional exam, and God helping her, before November, she'll be a chartered accountant. Wow. But why she started ICANN? Because I told her, okay, let's get you a job where you will work as an account officer. First, she started as an admin account. Remember, she was not an accountant, but because she had passion for it, she already started ICANN, so she learned the basic of accounting. So we gave her, she studied business administration, we gave her a job under admin accounts. She did that job for about 8 months. I noticed she has grown. I mean, experience. Yes. That job paid her about 60K or 70. Notice it was 3 years postgraduate. When we saw that she got to a skill stage and she was good, she's currently working in an oil and gas company as we speak now as the account officer. And last week, a client requested for an accountant and forwarded her CV as a head of accountant. This is someone that, if she was looking at the salary, okay, trust me, she will not even be here right now. Maybe she will still be jobless, or maybe moving from one company to another, requesting for salary. But in the space of, I've met her not up to 2 years, and she's in skills, and she's currently working as the account officer of a leading oil and gas company in Nigeria. In Port Harcourt. So what I'm saying, I don't know if I answered your question. Okay. There's stages for everybody in life. Sure. And the truth is that you cannot from this stage, I want to fly for that stage.
So it's more like you have to build.
Yes. Okay. Even the Bible say there is seed time. The seed time is immediately you graduate. Yes. You have to plant. There is seed. The seed is the hunger, the 50K salary, the 40K salary. That's your seed. You're planting. And you will now give time, which is seed, time, and adverts. These are principles for growth. Wow. If you don't follow this principle, you cannot from seed and give time and jump to harvest. If you're privileged, fine. But the truth is that as a young graduate, there is seed time, which is when you graduate. You have to pay the sacrifice. Everybody did it. Even me, I did it. So when you sow the seed, you give it time. And when you harvest, the harvest is plenty. So I hope I don't know if you have anything to say.
Well, what I have to say is, just like she said, for me, it's a yes and no, actually. But I was trying to look at the Nigerian youth, because being that all of us are in Nigeria, we have not yet Japa, you understand? Being in Nigeria, you need to be realistic. In my own aspect, for me, I think what pushes me for jobs is passion. Just like you said, the dream. If you have a dream, that's the deep part of me.
The truth is that even if you don't want to collect small salary, the company that you're looking for to employ you, the company is looking for the value and you don't have it. So if you are looking for big salary, you might be sitting in the house for a very long time.
That to stand in for the Nigerian
Yes.
youth. Most of the Nigerian youths are actually sitting at home looking for fat salaries.
That is why Buhari said Nigerian youth is jobless. But it's true. I'm sorry, but I've been in the recruitment industry. I know what my eyes have seen. You will not understand. But a lot of Nigerian youth, they are waiting for that big miracle. They rather sit in the house and press phone, or they will tell you they are learning skills. Okay, get a job and put those skills that you have learned. Even if the job is not paying you so much at the beginning, they will not agree. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please, we want to know what you think. It's a reality podcast, and you just can see it's our views and your opinion. We've made some comment based on our point of view. It's that time for you to drop your opinion. Let us know what you think in the comment section. And if you want to build your skill, any skill, both in the tech and administrative industry, Kenneth Consult is the place for you. Our office is located in Port Harcourt, and we also have virtual courses. You can contact the number on the bio on our YouTube channel, or comment. If you're having challenges switching us, just comment. Our rep will contact you. Bye bye until we meet in the next episode. Bye.